Hello, everybody. It is the golden hour with your girl, Nikki Nuvora. And you know what? We're going to ride and drive today. The lighting isn't the best because I'm in the car, but I'm going to take you with me. I got you on my selfie stick, so we might have a little movement action. But you know what? Because my other one broke, so we're going to go anyway. Right? So let's get it. Let's go. So I'm going to take you on the appointment that I have, and we're going to go. So let's go. All right, let's go. Now, today's Vibe and Drive, of course, if you're new to my channel, I am the owner of the perfume and beauty brand Nikki Nuvora. It's a little wiggly, guys. I'm sorry. But we're going to... Oh. You're getting the real today. So it's a little wiggly, but we're going to work it out. So we are riding and driving. Of course, I'm going to have a little better. It's going to be a little better, but don't worry. I'm not on the road, and once I'm on the road, I'm going to be focused on the road. So it looks a little weird, but I wanted to take you with me today. So if you're new here, I am Nikki Nuvora, aka Nikki Rogers, and I'm originally from Baltimore City, but I am the owner and founder of Nuvora Gold. Also, doing business under Nuvora Consulting. So I make my own pet-friendly, cruelty-free skincare and hair care brand and fragrances targeted toward the melanin community, meaning my sisters and my brothers and everybody that has a little tint to the skin. Not that other people can't use it either, but it's formulated for our needs. So if that makes sense. So I come from basically nothing, but I'm here to motivate you and to show you that it actually can be done, that the future you is waiting for the present you to make moves so so you can be okay in the future. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. And I'm telling you this from a place of knowing it. You know, my mom basically struggled with addiction. She wasn't there for me at all. I was raised by my grandmother. And there's a lot that comes to that. Maybe I'll tell you a little later on more about my story. But basically, I had to pull myself up from nothing. And it wasn't easy. And now I live in beautiful Virginia, surrounded by some of the most wonderful, wealthiest people that I've ever seen or even thought about meeting in my lifetime. I've driven by houses that are so massive, it looks like a college, like one of them. I couldn't even believe that was a private residence. I'm telling you, it's insane. But I met the love of my life here. He is awesome, and he showed me a whole different side of living that I just never thought was possible. So I'm here to motivate you and show you that people that look like us can make it. I know the economy is trash. As for me filming this, it is trash, guys. So I have to tell you that the main thing that I've learned from being around people that have this type of wealth, and also myself, I'm not going to say that I'm wealthy, but I'm on the way there because I'm learning so much, not only from seeing this firsthand and knowing that you can do it, but also watching a lot of mentors. Sometimes if you can't afford to get a mentor, YouTube University is tons and tons of mentors that you can actually follow and learn from them for free. Of course, it would be better if you could get a paid mentorship. That would be amazing. But if you just want to be close to that, you can just follow a lot of the mentors that have YouTube channels, and listen to their speeches, listen to how they did it, listen to what they advise you to do. That a lot of them post that for free, and then you can learn a lot that way. And then, so what my tip for you, if you really want to make it out of the situation that you're in now, start with learning from the people that have already done it. Not necessarily people that have had a jump head start, like maybe they had, some type of help and that's how they are where they are, because a lot of us don't have that initial capital or initial support from family or stuff like that. So maybe follow someone that literally had to get it out of the mud, and made it to a point that where you want to be. So whatever maybe you're thinking about starting a business, or maybe you're thinking about, how am I going to go about even, making the idea I have become reality. First thing you want to do is do your market research. Make sure there is customers for whatever your product is or whatever your service is. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just look at what's already working. Look at what's already working. Study that. Even if you go to Google Trends, even if you just, there's so many tools. Claude is my go-to LLM. I know people are feeling different ways about LLM. Listen, in these days and times, you need it. You have to have it. There's no other way to get around it. You have to not only use it, but you have to master it. You have to sign up, not for the free one, for the $20 a month one. Now, the path I'm telling you, it's not going to be free, but what you're going to have to do is invest some of your money. And I'm not even talking about a lot. I'm talking about 100, 200, maybe 500. If you're working a 9-to-5 job, you can do it. If you got to stash some away each check, you can get there. If you really want to pull yourself out of the situation you're in, number one, even if you have a great paying job, you could be laid off. Like, for instance, the job I was at, I've been in healthcare for 20 years. Make sure you check out my website so you can learn my backstory and all of that. Nuvora Gold .store. The link will be in the description below. But I got to tell you guys, the layoffs are laying off. The layoffs are laying. Okay, no job, as you can see now, is secure. I'm not going to get into the political stuff in this video. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to empower you with knowledge and to show you it can be done. So on this channel, I'm going to show you me out there. I'm going to show you some products that I make and the basic stuff. But you're really going to see me out there hustling. You're going to see me out there going to the networks, giving out samples and getting feedback from the people that of how the product is. I'm going to film as much as I can as possible, so you can learn from the ground up how I'm going about running my business, and also how you can do it too. What I find is, if you see someone that looks like you, meaning minority, if you're brown, if you're Latino or black, I'm not going to get into that. But what I know is, I'm an African American woman. I was born here. I'm a descendant of slave. So I guess they call us foundational blacks. I think that's kind of the term that's going on. But from generations, we've worked this land and we've built this country from scratch. I do have Native American kind of in my family tree. So I may not have like African features, some people tell me. But needless to say, I'm from Baltimore. I'm from the ghetto. I'm from poverty. I'm from all of that. And I knew just from even, and it wasn't around me, I had to look on TV to see that there was a different way to do it. So with all of that in mind, once that scene in me actually made me want to explore outside of Baltimore. So I started traveling. I went to DC. I went to New York. I just traveling, visiting Delaware, all these different places to see how different life was. Sorry for the camera movement. See how different life was. And then from that, it opened my mind. Of course, a lot of us don't have money to travel internationally and all that. And it's easy to say, oh, go see the world. Most of us can't afford that. Okay, we can't afford doing that. So what are you going to do, right? So just get in your car or get on the train or, get on an Amtrak. That's what I started to do the earlier days, just to visit somewhere else, just to get off the train, walk around, see what's, DC, get off the train and just look around and just get something to eat, walk, be amongst the people, just to see a different point of view from what you're, because a lot of my younger life, I didn't even leave the city. I didn't even leave the few blocks, like neighborhood I was from. Yeah, I knew the neighborhood and everybody knew me like the back of my hand, but what else was there? I still was trapped in a loop of poverty because there was no opportunities where I was at. So I had to go outside to find them. And a lot of you may be living in those, Detroit, LA, Compton, Michigan, wherever you are. I'm sure there is a wealthy side and a kind of a not so wealthy side, or a ghetto side as they call it. So I'm from where the police are scared. I'm sure a lot of you saw The Wire, right? That doesn't even touch on the amount of violence and drug activity and corruption and all the things that were going on. I mean, that I've seen with my own eyes. I mean, I was born and raised there. I didn't leave until I was, maybe I started to kind of travel around when I was about 19, 20, but I didn't fully leave the hood until I was like 26, 20, I would say 25, 26, before I really started, before I actually moved down to the DC area, sleeping on couches and working $10 an hour jobs. And, I've worked all types of jobs. I'm not even going to get into that, but maybe another video will do that. But my point is, and I know I'm rambling, but I want people to understand who I am and my journey, and to know that I'm like you. I'm just like you. I know I've been in the dark places. I've had a lot of deaths and losses. My father died of a heart attack when I was 18 and he was 36. Okay? 36. And I loved him like the air that I breathe. Tough, so I had my grandmother, but she had her plate full with all of my cousins and all the other things. I had siblings by my mom, but none by my dad. So, I have half siblings and stuff like that. But you can turn things around. I know it doesn't seem that way. And you're like, well, Nikki, how can I turn things around? I'm barely making ends meet. And I'm, the job I have, I can barely afford. Listen, you're going to have to get your hustle up. Even if it's a side hustle or get a double shift, or get a side hustle in addition to your regular job. You got to do it. And you don't need much. Maybe save some each check to start buying inventory. And I'm going to tell you something. Let's go back to the businesses. I know you have an idea, but you've got to do research before you just dive into what you think is a good idea. It's about what people need and people want. You have to give them a service that they need, not that they might want. Like, for instance, me. I made my own hair care, and now I'm making my own perfumes. Not the fake stuff. I'm making real perfume. I studied the perfume masters, Dior and all the real guys, the perfumes that I love, and I am making my own blends from basically the ingredients that they're using. I found out exactly what they're using. I'm not copying anyone, but I found out how do they create such amazing scents. So I'm making actually parfum, eau de parfum. I also have the rollerball scents, like you might get from the oil store, or the You know, the roller guys, I love those, right? Those are a great alternative to the expensive. I'm even making those. So, I mean, with the real sense, I'm not talking about just fragrance oils. And no, I'm making perfume roller balls, premium, right? Because my people need to be able to smell good, look good at an affordable rate. That is my whole thing. Helping my people look good and smell good at and look good, meaning hair and skincare, and smell good, which is you have to have that combo in order to be your best self. That is why I created this, because I wanted to also feel that and do that and understand that, and then make my own different blends that are really just amazing smelling. But I wanted to be able to create them myself, but offer them at a lower rate than the $200 bottle at Macy's. But you can get that same experience and same scent. I figured it out. It's not that profitable for me because they can easily go at 150, 200, stuff like that. But I wanted us to have access to that, because when you look good and you smell good, you can be your best self. You can help your future self become the best by your present self. If your present self looks good, smells good, when you walk in a room, people notice that. When you don't have a smell that lingers in the room after you're gone, people will forget about you. People, and it's sad that people are judgmental, and I can say, oh, it doesn't matter and all that. It matters. I don't care what else everybody else says. Oh, it shouldn't matter what you smell like. Oh, it shouldn't matter if your skin is ashy. It matters, guys. You want to, and I'm going to tell you why. Because eventually, if you start a business, you want to get into the rooms where they are making deals that you would never be able to get into if you didn't look good and smell good. I'm going to tell you right now. You might not want to hear that. That is the truth. I'm sorry. Let's get real for a second. I've learned a lot coming from the ghetto to where I am now, and I'm still on my way, and I'm taking you guys with me. I'm sorry, the lighting's terrible, so if I'm shaded, I'm sorry, guys, but you're getting the real deal here, okay? I gotta tell you, what you smell like matters, and you can't smell like the cheapo. No, that's why I had to figure out the formulation that I have. Make sure you check out my scents and all of that, and my link, my website, NikkiNuvora.gold. But I had to figure out how to make it myself so I wouldn't have to pay $200, $150 a wop, just to smell amazing. The perfume oils also are a great alternative. That's why I also came up with them too. They smell amazing as well. Of course, the perfume is where you want to go, where you want to be, but the oils will do it. I'm telling you. Just use them, once, twice throughout the day, you're good. And it smells high end. That was my whole purpose. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, okay? These are called the golden handcuffs. What's the golden handcuffs, Nikki? What's going on with that? The golden handcuffs, I'm going to tell you. The golden handcuffs are your 9-to-5 job. The golden handcuffs are your 9-to-5 job. It is easy to get comfortable with the golden handcuffs. And that's exactly what I mean by that. Golden handcuffs. They are handcuffs. They're keeping you strapped to somebody else's dream. But the thing is, it's necessary, because you can't just start a business and be successful. A lot of businesses fail. So you have to put the time, you have to put the effort, you have to put the content creation, everything to it. But while you're building that takes money. And if you don't have money out the gate, it just won't be there. You have to sometimes fund it yourself. You can also, once you get it going, set up, meaning your LLC, your EIN, your business account. I'm going to have videos on how you can do all that. But you have to get all of that stuff set up first, and then you have to get sales generated in. And then you can start looking for grants and FBA business loans and things of that nature. But you already have to have the ball rolling. Sometimes you'll hear videos that says, oh, you don't even have to have sales, and you can just make an LLC with no sales and they'll give you this and that. I'm going to tell you something, because I've been doing the research and all with Nuvora Consulting, which Nuvora Gold is under that. You have to have sales coming in. You have to have established clientele. You have to have a target audience. You don't want to be for everybody. Get your target audience nailed down first. First you see the need. Then you see who needs this product, right? First, let me rephrase that. Is there a need for this product? That's where you start first. Who can use this product? Who would mainly be my target audience? Because if you're for everyone, you're for no one. Okay? Is there a need for my product or service? Because you can have a service too. You can have a service business. You can have there's so many businesses. I mean, there's so many. So there's two types of service business or products. That's basically it. There's two areas, service or products. So first you discover who can use this. Do people need this, and why should they want it? That's the first question you ask for any service or any product you're considering. That will cut out so many failures, right? And that's also what I did. I did the research on, is it needed? Is it there are businesses that are already using the need and fulfilling that need? Also, who wants it? Who's my target audience? Those are things that I focused on before I even thought about starting anything. Then, what you want to do is you have to create your product, create the service, make sure it's good. If it's a physical product, make sure that you create that. You don't want to get a bunch of inventory also, because it could sit, it could waste, especially if it has a shelf life. You want to make some product, get some product, as a stash, as a working stash. So, because you're going to need that for content creation, you're going to need that for samples, you're going to need that, to demonstrate whatever that is, right? You're going to need that to be able to show the public what you have, your physical in their hand or whatever it is. You're going to need that, right? And then if it's a service, you're going to have to show people you performing that service for people, for someone, a family member, a person off the street, whatever it is. You're going to have to show people how it works, right? In live action. And you make content all around it. I'm going to tell you something. If you have a business and you're not making content about that business or aspect of that business, sorry guys, I got to get some of this coffee. It's early in the morning. You got to excuse me. If you're not making content about your business or some aspect of it, you don't exist. You have to go where the people are, and you have to post a lot. I'm just getting started with the posting daily, at least 5 days a week. There are tools that I use that you can schedule posting. I use Claude Code. I use Claude. On my back end, I use N8N, because I actually on the side do automated workflows, AI automated workflows for businesses. I'm actually have a client that I monitor all the time and daily, and I use AI workflows to help me with my own business. I understand how AI can help you with that. If you want more information with that, comment more info below so I know that that's the video you want to see next. If you want a free sample of my whipped body butters or my fragrances, I can send you, comment gold below, and I'll send you the link so you can get a free sample with that. Okay, so that's what I'm offering. You do have to pay shipping, but the sample is free. So anyway, let's get back to the topic. You have to post, especially when you're getting started, daily, and you have to post on social media. The thing I learned from Gary Vee, so I told you I follow a lot of mentors. A lot of my mentors do not look like me. And a lot of my mentors come, but some of them, a lot of them do. There's more actually in the space. But the knowledge, you don't want to be specific to, and this is just my opinion, even though I am targeting my community, our black and brown people, you can learn from everyone. A lot of the great scholars and knowledge, knowledge comes in all forms. People come in all forms. I get it. So my brand might be focused because of what the needs are and the empowerment that I want to give my people. But knowledge can come from anywhere. And a lot of times knowledge will come from people that don't look like you. Also, for your business, I want to empower people that look like me, melanin focused people, specifically the black community, because it's such a need there. But I also can't be blinded, which I'm not, by a person's color. I am not. I have plenty of, one of my best friends is from Cuba. She's amazing, just like my sister from another mister. Amazing. A lot of my friends are all nationalities. White, black, brown, Spanish, it doesn't matter, So I've learned a lot from everyone. So even though I'm, as they call me, African American, I learned so much from everyone. So when you're going to YouTube, like I said, when you're looking for a free mentorship, which is easy as following a creator that is very successful business-wise, that has a business that they've grown from nothing, that's what you want to look for. Marketing gurus, different things like that. Gary Vee, he is the master when it comes to social media. And what I actually learned from him lately is that it's not really a social media thing, it's interest media. Meaning that what I learned from him, big shout out to Gary Vee, is that now it's interest media. So social media shows you what you're interested in, not necessarily posts from your family member or your this and that, or it shows you what you're interested in. Meaning the algorithm will show you what you've looked at before, what you've looked at a couple of videos of before. That is how it works now. So me putting my content on social media, for instance, on all the platforms, and actually you want to have one mother platform and then you want to spread that out to the different other platforms. YouTube is going to be my main platform, and then the other ones will kind of be, I'll post snippets on there so you can come back to my main platform, which is going to be YouTube. And also, obviously that is how it should work. For me, your main platform might be TikTok, because TikTok, you have the TikTok shop. So if you have physical products, live selling of your physical products is the wave. I'm definitely going to get into the live selling. You'll see me do that in real time. So we'll get into that. But also being physically out there. I like being physically out there, going to the different malls, especially in the Virginia area. There's so many, and I know it's like malls are dead, and I know some of them are just, some, I've seen some on their last leg, but you still have anchor malls, meaning that you have a major department store that's part of that mall, and it is holding that together. So I like going to those malls still. There's really nice fancy ones, trust me. And you could still, it also depends on what your product is. You really want to focus on who your product is for, who your market is for. If you're in a service-based business, then you want to focus more on events or places that would need that service, or where your customers would be, and kind of be there. So you want to be physically out there, but you can also, I would lean more toward the internet and all your social medias. I would do that daily, maybe 5 days a week. I'm not, you don't want to get burned out, because creator burned out, founder burnout is a real thing. But I'm here to not only take you on my journey and show you how I'm doing it so you can learn. Sorry about the lighting, guys. We're on a highway here. But I also want to encourage you and show you how you can do it too. Sometimes you have to see somebody else doing it, especially somebody that may look like you or can relate to you, before you be like, oh, okay, this is something I can actually really do. This is something I can do. I'm sorry for the lighting, guys. It is terrible, but this is what we got. I'm almost at work though. So, I'm almost going where I'm going. But anyway, I wanted to really kind of share, that with you. We're going to be doing a lot of ride and drives, ride and walks, show you the beautiful Virginia background, which it is so beautiful here, the lush greenery, the parks, the everything. But I'm also going to take you with me when I'm giving out samples, when I'm going to events, when I'm setting up booths. I'm going to show you my tech stack. I'm going to show you products of how I actually make them, which I'm so proud of and so excited to show you kind of my lab. A lot of stuff I'll do right in my kitchen, so it's really relatable to you. I also have a biotech certification, so I'm kind of a lab rat, and I'm also in pharmacy. So the actual concentrations and mixtures of stuff, that's like the back of my hand. So I will show you, a lot of that as well. So you can also learn. Your business might not be what I do, but I'm going to also show you that as well. So when you maybe are interested in checking out any of my products or getting a free sample, you will understand kind of where the background of it, how it was made, that sort of thing. I won't give out my special blends, because that is proprietary, but I will show you my process and all that, and then there you go. So I'm so glad that if you're still with me. I'm definitely want to thank you for hanging in there with me. I am here to give you so much value, so much information. We're gonna, you're part of the Nikki tribe now. I really appreciate you guys watching. But before I sign off, I gotta tell you something. If nobody else tells you this today or this week or anything like that, you are enough. I know you see social media. I know you see people just living this lavish life, and it's like, why am I not living this way, or why do I, don't look this way, or what's going on? Let me tell you something. You are enough. You are enough. You are beautiful in your own way. You are handsome in your own way. You are smart. You are capable. Haters are going to hate. People in your environment will not understand your drive, your motivation. They will even put doubt in your head that you can't do it. Why even do it? This is going on with the economy. This is going on with the political environment. This is what's going on. You don't know this. You don't understand this. You don't have enough money for this. Nobody's going to buy you. Nobody's going to support you. You look this way, so they might be against you, or racist or whatever. Don't let any of that stop you. Some of the greatest successes come from people that had doubts and had nothing. So I want to leave you with this. Thank you so much for joining me on our ride and vibe. Make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to drop videos every day for the next who cares, right? Make sure you follow Nikki Nuvora on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And thank you so much. And remember, I love you all. Peace.
Nuvora Gold.